Introduction. What happened to the American dream? If what you know isn't so, when would you want to know that? Robert Hollis. A news anchor recently reported that many people now believe that the American dream has broken down. It makes me wonder what people think of as the American dream. On a recent Sunday afternoon, I was driving down Pacific Coast Highway with my wife, Teri. I looked over her and said, "This is my American dream right here. I'm living it and loving it each and every day." But it wasn't always that way. I'll tell you my whole story later, but the movie trailer version goes something like this. After a traumatic accident, I almost lost everything. Then I met a mentor who empowered me to achieve success at levels I never imagined possible. It's been 25 years since I met Mr. Bill Gould, my original mentor, and he had my first taste of success in business. Today, I have so many streams of residual income, it's challenging to keep track of it. I have the freedom to enjoy my family and do the things I love. I have friends all over the world. Terry and I have amazing view of the Pacific Ocean out our bedroom window, and we enjoy several exotic vacations every year. Most important to me, I've been blessed to be able to provide mentorship for many other people as Bill did for me. Helping others achieve their dreams is truly my life work and passion. Two paths to the top. We've heard a great deal of debate in the political arena on the subject of one percenters and 99 percenters. I don't engage in the war on words. The way that this discussion has been framed can never lead to anything productive. It's based on a snapshot at a moment in time. 1% of the population possesses 99% of the world's wealth. But this snapshot fails to tell the story that really matters to those among the 99 percenters who desire to migrate toward the land of the one percenters. They want to hear the story of how the 99 percenters made the journey up the economic ladder. That's my story. Though I don't participate in the political squabble, I don't shy away from telling my heroic Elgar story. In fact, when people ask how I went from rags to riches, I love to get in their heads just a bit. Have you ever heard of those pyramid shaped marketing companies that promote products through everyday people? They nod. I ask, have you heard that that guy at the top makes all the money? They nod, sometimes with a look of concern. Then I say with a big grin, I'm that guy. Not too long ago, rags to riches stories like mine played an integral part in the character of the American dream. But over the past century, this theme of our collective vision has taken quite a beating. Hollywood has repeatedly featured business leaders as inherently corrupt and evil in films like Citizen Kane, Wall Street, Broadcast News, The Firm, Greed, Silkwood, and Aaron Brockovich. These are great films and important stories, but when is the last time you saw a film portray an entrepreneur or business leader in a positive way? News reports of business tend to follow the same pattern, focusing on scandals and stories of shameless corruption. From the robber barons of the industrial age to Bernie Madoff to the leaders of Enron, Exxon, Valdez oil spill, and PB, the Gulf oil spill, and the financial services companies of this decade that almost drove us into a new Depression. Many rich and powerful persons have earned the distrust of the 99 percenters. Yet, while the general public remains a cynical view of the corporate establishment, we still have tremendous admiration for that rare individual. such as Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Richard Branson. Who builds an empire from scratch by virtue of creativity, vision, and tenacity? The stories of these extraordinary entrepreneurs inspire us and spark our imagination. While most of us may fantasize about winding up atop a huge business empire, relatively few of us ever venture into the entrepreneurial path. Often, when I suggest that individuals consider going into their own business, they cite dramatic statistics of how many entrepreneurs fail, usually between 85 and 96%. For some reason, the same logic doesn't stop the masses from buying lottery tickets, which are almost guaranteed not to yield a return. Nevertheless, the price of a lottery ticket seems to be the maximum most folks are willing to risk toward the dream of becoming a one percenter. A clear choice. Let me ask you a question. What is your American dream? What is your idea of success? When I was growing up in North Dakota, I was told the path to success would begin by getting the best education I could. Then I found a good job, worked very hard, and kept my nose clean. I was told I could climb the corporate ladder and achieve all my heart's desires. Is your American dream some variation on that program? How long have you been pursuing that path? How is that working for you? If you are satisfied and that path is working for you, I am truly happy for you. Keep up the good work and may God continue to bless you. On the other hand, if you are no longer confident that this path will pay off as you once believed, please stop and consider a new path. Some wise person once said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Though our economy owes a great deal of credit for its strength and resilience to the spirit of entrepreneurship, the masses have brought into an imposter of the American dream that, in my opinion, has more in common with the lottery. This substitute for the American dream proposes an alternative path to the top of the proverbial heap. Instead of the risk-filled path of the entrepreneur who creates a business and sometimes an industry from scratch, the safer, saner path, according to this imitation American dream, entails climbing to the top of an existing corporate ladder. If you choose the right industry and the right company, you might, with hard work, loyalty, and a bit of luck, make it to the top of that corporate pyramid. You might win the lottery too, but the odds are not in your favor. As you listen to this book, you will be confronted with a clear choice between two distinct paths. One path promises security, stability, and a shot at the country club lifestyle for the few who climb the ever narrowing ladder of corporate success. Because you are listening to this book, I'm willing to bet that if you search your heart, being a cog in someone else's dream machine can never fulfill your American dream. If you are more like me, that path offers an illusion of security and stability in the form of golden handcuffs. I believe the heart of the American dream has to do with freedom. It's about that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our Declaration of Independence calls unalienable rights and affirms as having been endowed by our Creator. So we choose a different path, one that promises risk-filled adventure and challenges in place of security and stability. It offers the possibility of carving out your own destiny. And today, the entrepreneurial path offers better odds of improving your lifestyle that can be expected from the competitive corporate environment. Millions of entrepreneurs make above average income, while millions of corporate workers are retiring every month on incomes near or below the poverty level. Those of us who have tasted the joys of entrepreneurship think the term job, that stands for just over broke. Whether or not you achieve your goals, this path offers the experience of really being alive. I could never find on that other path. How did you do it? I am an entrepreneurial evangelist. I look for every opportunity to encourage people to dare to build their own empire rather than try to claw their way to the top of somebody else's. But I'm also an entrepreneurial educator, and that responsibility entails painting an honest picture of the challenges and risks. If you listen to the stories of entrepreneurs who failed in their effort to build a business, a huge percent of successful entrepreneurs have failed in at least one previous enterprise. You will hear two recurring themes. One, insufficient capital or cash flow, and two, lack of knowledge and experience in running a business. It's strange that in spite of a well-publicized statistics on business failures, people still imagine they can succeed without any entrepreneurial experience or know-how. Maybe people think that, but they have worked in a business that they understand the critical factors involved in a successful enterprise. It may also have something to do with the independent temperament of those who are attracted to entrepreneurship. You look around at any other profession and you find people get trained before they start performing their duties. As a mechanic, I couldn't even smog test a car without training and certification, but would-be entrepreneurs frequently jump into without understanding how business works, and within a short time, they find themselves overwhelmed. They often know little about marketing, so they try to sell their products or services to friends, colleagues, and family members, with friends and family adding unnecessary tensions to that operation. Then, when they run out of cash and customers, they quit and blame the economy, their chosen industry, or some other external circumstance. So the general public's view of entrepreneurship comes from the blind leading the blind in the dark. They don't have a clue. When people ask me for my secret to building a successful enterprise, I can offer several answers. First, I focus on the singular goal that really matters in creating a flourishing business. Build a large, satisfied customer base. That's a brass ring. And that is exactly what I achieved in the 7 successful businesses I have created. In each case, I accomplished this by developing real relationships with potential customers and focusing on providing value for them. Happy customers mean repeat business. Without a doubt in my mind, my method works. I earn a 7-figure residual income from a base of over 1 million satisfied customers in 9 countries. Often, when I speak about starting an online business, people say they don't have a product or service to sell. They are usually surprised when I tell them the biggest earners online are individuals and companies that promote products and services produced by others. These big earners help companies connect with people who find their product or service valuable. Those companies are more than happy to pay to acquire new customers. The amount of money that gets paid every day to acquire new customers will boggle your mind. But I'm amazed at how many people have become experts at promoting other companies' products without ever earning a dime. Today, people promote their favorite movies, shoes, jeans, music, videos, articles, pictures, and all sorts of brands and designer labels. They do this through likes, pins, and other links on their social media sites. while the producers of those products and the social media outlets, whether it be Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, profit enormously from the promotional activity of millions. The vast majority of those doing the promoting have no clue how to profit from their efforts. If the brass ring in business is building a large, satisfied customer base, then many of us have been providing a very valuable service by our promotional efforts. Why not learn to get paid for that? My second secret involves finding a mentor and committing the time and effort to master the fundamentals of marketing and business development. I devoted myself for several years to learn from one successful mentor. That experience laid the foundation for me to build several wildly successful businesses. In addition to finding a mentor who has built a successful business, I recommend you find one who has documented his or her effectiveness in mentoring others to achieve success. To date, I have documented 44 millionaires who acknowledge me as their business mentor. I think that's 67 now. Most of these came to me with the same question: how did you do it? How did you build a massive customer base? New ways of thinking and being. The third secret to success involves humbling yourself and opening your mind to new ways of thinking and operating. For most would-be entrepreneurs, this presents the biggest challenge. Most people over the age of 12 think they have the world figured out. They believe that the way the world seems to them is the way that the world really is. But it is this very way of thinking that has most people stuck right where they are. To make matters worse, most people are convinced they are already open-minded. They just add another deadbolt to their already locked minds. When things don't work as planned and a business never grows exactly as planned, people tend to blame their circumstances rather than view the situation as a learning opportunity. I have learned anything from life, it is this: change your ways of thinking and acting and being in the world, and your life and circumstances will inevitably change as well. But you will never really change your life by focusing on your circumstances. Being a true entrepreneur is as much about developing yourself as it is about developing a business. Perhaps it goes without saying, but you certainly don't have to be an American to pursue this dream of freedom. People around the world have put us to shame with their courageous spirits of entrepreneurship and their fierce dedication to live free, self-determined lives. What I refer to as the American dream represents a universal human yearning to carve out one's own destiny and to make a unique contribution to the well-being and happiness of others. I invite you to open your mind and try on some fresh ways of looking at things. You may be surprised at what you discover about yourself, about your beliefs, and about how you have come to the life that you have now. I hope you will discover, as I have, that this American dream, the freedom and power to pursue your dream, is still very much alive.